Hi, and welcome to week 13 of the postpartum program. I am so happy you're here. If you're brand new here and just finding this video, I highly recommend going back to watch all the other videos in this series. It really lays the foundation for what we're going to do here today, as well as moving forward. But if you have been with us from the beginning and you are at your 13-week point, welcome and congratulations. I hope you're feeling really good, really strong. This workout, especially, we're going to challenge you in ways we haven't quite yet and do some new things. So that's going to be really exciting. But your equipment, you need pretty much everything today. We're going to use the ball, your band, as well as your weights. We're actually not going to be using the block. So I'll put that off to the side. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and find a quadruped position to get warmed up. So bringing your wrists right under shoulders, knees right under hips. Just kind of take a moment here to come into your body. We'll start with the little cat cow. So inhale, let your gaze go up, stomach drop, chest expands. Exhale, press the ground away, round through the back, ribs hug in, belly button up to the spine. All the air comes out of your lungs. Inhale, gaze up, really arching through the back, letting it feel nice here. And exhale, round. One more just like that. Good, rounding. And then coming right back through center here, finding your nice tabletop position, bringing the left fingertips back behind the head for a thoracic rotation. You know the drill in this one. You exhale, elbow down to opposite wrist, really twist, and then inhale, open it all the way up. We'll do one more this side. Exhaling down, and inhale, open. First time I've worn my hair down in a braid for this, and I don't know how I feel about it. Coming down, really getting in the way already. Fingertips, other side, right fingertips. Exhale, we cross. And inhale, big opening, trying to keep the hips kind of where they are, using your obliques, your mid-back, your posture muscles. And exhale, close for last one. Open, open, open. And closing it down, bringing hands back down underneath you, coming into our hovers. So tucking your toes under, finding a nice strong inhale. Exhale, lifting up through the core. Press into your mat, hover the knees, hold until all the air is out of your lungs. You can't hold anymore. Inhale, drop. Exhale. Inhale, lower for last two. Last one here. Good. Lower the knees down, but scoot yourself up. We're going to make our way down into a supine position for some bridging and pelvic tilts, coming all the way down onto your back in a place that's comfortable. Feet will be stacked right under your knees. Good old pelvic tilt coming up, hands down by your side. So letting tailbone go heavy, rib cage is heavy, lower back is curving naturally. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, flatten lower back. Deep core connection here. I think ribs hug in, squeeze, 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 and inhale, release. So there should be no air left in your lungs. You're trying to flatten the belly, hug the belly in as much as you can. You should feel like it's kind of zipping up and close. So now that we really are connecting to our core, on your exhale, the pelvis tilts up, lower abs engage, lower back starts to imprint. You're kind of hugging from this mid area here. And then the last step is thinking of your upper abs, your ribs kind of closing together. And release. Last one. Don't forget about that pelvic floor, lifting up, thinking light and lift as you hug. And release. Let's work this into our spine articulation bridge. So inhale. On your exhale, tuck, scoop, lift, drive through the heels. Really articulate each vertebra as you come off your mat. Shoulder blades will stay down. Collarbone will stay wide. Squeeze at the top. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Tuck the pelvis a little bit more. one vertebra at a time. So something that I've mentioned in other videos, forgot to mention it right off the bat, but there are your strength options linked in the description below if you are looking to do a little bit of a strength workout this week as well, if that's been something that's been feeling good for you, or if you just want to start implementing it this week. There are strength workouts that I created with postpartum in mind. So you're still it's created to go in tandem with this, just centered a little bit more around building strength. So whatever works for you. If you want to just stick with this and worry about that later, that's fine too. Last one here. Scooping and lifting all the way up. Let's try that challenge we talked about last week. So you're at the top here. Find your inhale. Now try to relax your glutes and your hamstrings and just roll down using your core. Good. If that still feels a little funky, don't worry about it. Just a fun little challenge to see where you're at with that. And then go ahead, windshield wiper legs side to side. We're going to head into a flat back bridge just to finish us out here. Inhale to prepare. Then exhale, just lift the hips up. Inhale, tap lower. Your back is staying nice and straight, nice and stable. We're no longer articulating, just driving through the glutes and then lowering down. Still keeping your shoulder blades down on your mat. Go for 3, 2. Next one, we hold it up at the top, holding here. All the weight comes into your right leg, right glute, really squeeze. Left leg will come up to the ceiling. Single leg bridge. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Lower down. You have 4. Try to keep the hips nice and stable. 3. Use your hands. Go for 2. Last one here. Right into left side. Left leg comes down. Really squeeze through your left glute. Right toes up to the ceiling. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Last 3. Trying not to wobble. Only going as high as you can control it. Last one here. Right foot comes down. Both feet on the ground. Roll it down. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Last. Nice work, you guys. Hug knees into your chest. You can go ahead and kind of rock it side to side here if that feels nice. And then making your way into a seated position, however is comfortable for you. We're going to use your ball and your weights next to head into a little bit of core and upper body work. So finding your kneeling position, go ahead, bring the ball, as we've done before, kind of right between your thighs, and then scoot your knees in so that you really do have some pressure on this ball. You're not just kind of holding it there. We're already actively squeezing in. You'll feel what that does for the lower abs, for the pelvic floor by engaging our inner thighs here. And then find your weights. Once we're in our kneeling position, tucking the pelvis under just a tad so that we're squeezing through the glutes. We're stable through this hip area. Palms face up, roll the shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale. Press out. Keeping a soft bend in the elbows. Inhale, open the arms out. Exhale. Squeezing in. Inhale, elbows come back. Exhale, they press out. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So now that you have the breath, let's talk through some other things here. So this is as much a core workout as it is upper body. On your exhale, as you squeeze in, as you press out, we're thinking of our elevator abs zipping up, lifting up, and hugging in. Noticing what that ball does for the inner thighs. And then on your inhale, I want you to think about the breath going all the way down to the pelvic floor, expanding through the ribs, lower back. You're not just breathing into your chest. Let's go for 4 more here. Out and in. You're like, 4. Yeah, you're feeling strong at this point. Trying to encourage you to start to push yourself a little bit more in these last couple weeks together. Sad, I'm going to miss you guys. Stick around for sculpt workouts, for Pilates workouts. And you can always come back to this program if you're ever feeling like, you know what, my core pelvic floor just needs a little refresher. Come back. Let's hang out again. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale. Open and close it down. Good work. Go ahead, roll out the neck. Reset there for a second. And then we are going to go ahead and come into a little bit more of a twist. So I want you to bring your palms up, roll the shoulders down. On your exhale, both arms lift up, soft bend in the elbows. Just your left hand, twist and open. Keep your hips where they are. Twist, twist, twist. Let the weight pull you back. Exhale, come back through center. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Take an inhale. Open. Running into my curtains. Exhale, close. Gotta scoop back. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. One more each way. Inhale, open, open, open. Twist, thoracic rotation. Everything we've been working on. Back in. Really squeeze in on the ball. Tuck the pelvis. Keep the hips stable here. Open it up. Exhale. Close it in. And lower down, release. Go ahead, roll out the neck, roll out the arms. That is going to conclude our little arm burst there to start us out, putting the weights down, and then go ahead, take the ball out. We are going to do our first plank, like true plank series of our program, which is really exciting. But I just want you to know, if it's not feeling good up on the toes, go to the knees. That is totally fine. Work up into this when you feel ready. So let's go ahead and find a nice forearm plank here. We'll give our shoulders a little bit of a break, but making an 11 with the forearms here, coming into your plank position. Step left foot back, right foot back. Now tuck that pelvis down and under. Really think scooping up through the lower abs. Glutes are squeezing in and down. Press your mat away. Lower the knees down on an inhale. Tap the mat. Exhale, lift. Just 6 reps here. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Thinking about our pressure management. So we're still not trying to send that air down into our pelvic floor. You're taking a nice big inhale. Exhale, you're lifting, squeezing up. For last one here, I think. Nice work. Knees down, send it back. Big breath in here. And then we're coming right back to our plank for our last little exercises. We're going to work on some shifts. So stabilizing. Shifting forward and back, left foot back, right foot back, tuck the pelvis under, come down into your nice strong line. Your gaze is down. We're pressing out of the shoulders. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, shift it back. 2 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Keep the pelvis down. Last one here. Good work. Knees come wide. Send it back. You should feel really proud of yourself there, whether you took it on the toes or on the knees. That's our first kind of full plank. I know we did our little walkouts, but that's a pretty big milestone because you need that core strength, you need the stability, you need the pressure management in order to do a plank safely. So if that felt a little funky for you still, if you're like, I actually didn't feel quite right doing that, it is a little bit different. So go ahead and check in with doctor or physical therapist if it really didn't feel quite right. That just might be something specifically like that plank position, that bracing position that you might need a little bit of help with. But moving right along. Great job, you guys. We're going to stand up, grabbing our weights, coming into a little bit of balance work here. So let's start with left foot in front. Right foot will go back. Tuck the elbows in. Your back leg is straight. We're squeezing through that back glute. You've seen this position before. Soft bend in the front elbow. Tricep press with a hinge. So hinging right from your hips. Shift the weight forward. Tricep press. Use your glutes. Pull the upper body up to stand. Good. Send it back. Straightening the arms. Tipping right from your hips. And then lift through the chest back up to stand. Stay elevated, your back heel, so your right heel is lifted. You're squeezing through that right leg, that right glute, just as much as you're working through your left leg. And press. Good. Coming up and in for 2. We're going to add another layer here. And lift. Last one. Good. And coming all the way down, holding this position here. As you bend your arms in, bring your right toes in to tap and then send them back out long. So you really got to shift all your weight into your left leg here. Just a soft tap through the back leg. We're going to work up into our balance once more here. Send it long for 3, Bending into your front leg still. Try not to straighten that front leg. Put your weight in your heel into your glute. Last one, bend in, hold it back. We find our balance. So straight arms, straight legs, little lift, tiny lift, and lower. Tiny lift and lower. Breathe through it. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower for 3. You've got this. Woo, losing my balance. Go for 2. And find your last one. Lift and lower. Coming all the way up. Shake that out. Lots of glute work there. So good. Sending our left leg back. We're lifted. We're squeezing. That foot is elevated. Back into our tricep press. So elbows bend. Soft hinge from the hips. Gaze down. Press arms back. Bend them in. Come up to stand. So with our tricep extension, we want to kind of hold that contraction in the back for a second. Really feel the triceps work before you release and come back up. Moving through this very slow and controlled. Out and in. Let's go for 3 like this, and then we add our next layer. You'll start to notice this feels a little bit more just like a workout than specifically working on anything in particular. You're putting all the pieces together, using that core, your pressure management, your breathing, all the things. Last one like this. I think I added an extra rep there. Sorry, guys. Then bring it out and in. One thing about instructors, and it is a bit of a pet peeve of mine as well, but you kind of just know what a rep count feels like. So we're going to go for last 4 here, but as we got a lot to say, there's a lot I want to talk to you guys about, and sometimes we lose count. In and out for 2. Okay, next one. Hold it here. Send it out long. Hold. Straight arm, straight leg. Little lift. Little lower. Plant is right in my face. Little lift. Little lower. Go for 3. Shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift for 2. Exhale, lift. Last one. Good. Bring it down. Shake it out. Really, really nice job. Weights are going to go away. And then we're going to find our band. It's funny, like I wanted this to be very professional, but I also kind of wanted to do it in my house because I figured you're probably doing this. My dog, speaking of, couldn't have timed that better, but you're probably doing this in your house too. And I wanted it to feel very homey. I didn't want it to feel like I'm in like some studio setup with great lighting and this and that. Like we're chilling. We're just working out in our house when we can. So gonna have to get my dog to be quiet though. So finding that band right around your ankles. I want you to bring your feet about hip distance apart. Start to sit low, little soft bend in the knees. We're gonna go into our external lift. So I wanna scoot back a little bit. So we have this nice athletic stance. You're not really bent. It's just like a little bit of a soft bend. Hands to your hips. Shift all your weight into your left leg. Now point the right toe. Whoa, already losing balance. I want you to exhale, lift this right leg up a little bit. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Lots of outer glute, outer thigh work here. Your stabilizing leg doing a lot as well. Same thing. Exhale, lift. Think hug up and in. Inhale, lower. Go for 2. Last one here. Lift. Keep this knee pressing out. Bring it down. Shake it out a little bit if you have to. Switching to the other side. So finding your soft bend, shifting all the weight into your right leg. Point your left toe. You'll notice I kind of got to shift my upper body as well to counterbalance here. If you need to hold on to a wall or something, you can do that as well. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, lower, tap. Exhale, lift. This leg is as straight as you can keep it. Lower, tap. Right knee is not buckling in. We're keeping it pressing out wide as much as we can. Whew. Exhale, lift. Hard to talk and do this at the same time. Last 2. Take your last one. Whew. Oh my goodness. Okay. Getting that band off. Our glutes are cooked so good for our lower back. We're starting to build that strength back up through your lower body. Your glutes are where you get all of your explosiveness. So we really want to build that back up before you head out into whatever classes await you after this. So let's get into a little bit of core inner thigh work to kind of finish us off here. Coming down onto your mat. We'll bring the ball right between the knees. laying down, finding that nice, normal, neutral position to start. Feet are right under your knees, lower back heavy, rib cage heavy, little gap here. So walk your feet in so we're already squeezing on the ball a little bit here. Two options. First option we're going to do, inhale to prepare. Exhale, squeeze and lift both legs to find tabletop. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. So same connection to the core. I want you to get all the air out of your lungs, hugging and lifting everything up and in together. We're not bracing. We're not holding on to anything in there. Inhale, relax. So this is your first option. If this feels hard, if this feels good, stay here. Or if you're still dealing with any type of diastasis or separation, stay here. But if you want that challenge, if you're feeling up for it, as we exhale, lift, upper body lifts, just a little baby reach, and then inhale, lower, relax. Exhale, lift, and lower. So you can shorten the lift of the legs if you're adding that chest lift, if that feels a little bit better. And then we're keeping our fingertips down because I want you to think of lifting from the chest and like you're creating that C curve shape, like in our standing curl we did last week. A little shaky, you can probably hear it in my voice, but that's the shape we're trying to make, is reaching and rounding, hugging everything in. I can't really talk while I do that, I get shaky. Let's go for last two. And last one, whatever option you're taking. Good. Lower all the way down and breathe for a second here. Nice work. Hands will stay where they are, down by your side. Ball stays between the knees. Legs come to tabletop. Windshield wipers. So I believe we did these without the ball, or maybe they were with the ball. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to go back into them. I want you to keep squeezing in on the ball the entire time. So inhale, let your legs go over to the left, about 3/4 of the way. Now exhale, come back through center. So the difference here is we're not widening our hands. We're keeping our hands where they are. Inhale over to the right, only as much as you can control it. Exhale, back through center. So for me, that's about like a third, I would say, of the way over to the side before I feel like my body's going to collapse that way. And I have to use my obliques to pull me back in. So that's our difference. So with hands down by our sides instead of out in that supportive T position, we're actually forced to use our core more than anything to control this movement. Over to the left one more time. Back through center, over to the right. Through center, nice work. Plant the feet down, walk the feet in. So we're continuously squeezing, going into a little bit of bridge work. Flat back bridge with a squeeze on the ball. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. So finding your tiny tuck of the pelvis at the top, you think little tuck under and squeeze before you release, as well as inner thighs, initiating the squeeze in on the ball, tiny release on the way down for 4. Check in with your feet. We're not rolling in or out on our feet. Last 3. Go 2. Last one here. Lower, lift up, hold the squeeze, halfway lower, halfway lift. Breathe through it. Keep squeezing in. Using inner thighs. You have 6. Squeeze for 5. Lower lift, 4. Last 3. Squeeze a little tighter, 2. Last 1. Bring it all the way down. Nice work. You can take the ball out for a second here and just kind of rock the knees side to side. Release your lower back and then bring the ball between your ankles. So this is also a little bit different for us. We haven't really done a ton of work with this. Legs are going to go out on a 45-degree angle. So they're not going down. That puts a lot of pressure on your back. They're kind of going almost up to where your wall meets your ceiling. Hands down by your side. Bring them back into tabletop to start. On your inhale, light squeeze on the ball, just sending the legs out. On your exhale, deeper squeeze on the ball. Exhale, pull the legs back into tabletop. On your inhale, lengthen, release. On your exhale, squeeze the legs in, pull it in. So your challenge here is as we squeeze on this ball, the further it's gotten away from our inner thighs, the more your ankles are just kind of gonna go in together. I want you to think about that squeeze coming from all the way up here. So as you come out, we inhale. On your exhale, your inner thighs pull together, which pulls your knees together, which pulls your ankles together, and then we hug it in. It gets your core involved a lot more than if you're just moving from the ankles. Go for 2. We're keeping our neutral spine, so we're not flattening our lower back here. Last one. Lowering down, breathing for a beat here. One more exercise like that. And then we get to go into some back work, which we have not done yet either. And that's where we'll finish out. So bringing your legs back to that 45-degree angle, protecting your lower back. So if this feels like a lot, I want you to bring your legs up higher until your lower back does not feel like it's pulling up off the mat or anything. So bring it to that safe point for you. Rotate right leg on top. Left leg is going to go under the ball. Good. And then rotate back around. So working on that coordination and stability here. Rotate. And rotate. Finding your breath. One more time each way. I'm going to lose my ball here in a second. And rotate. Good. Bringing it in and lowering it down. Go ahead and rock the knees side to side. Ball can come to your chest. Slowly making your way up to a seated position, we get to go into a little bit of prone work here. So this is another one of those things where you just see how it feels in your body. If it doesn't feel great in your body, you can come back to kind of more of a back fly. You can grab your weights just to give you a modification here. If this really doesn't feel good, you can grab your weights, find that hinge, come into a little bit of a back fly so that you're still working those posture muscles. That's what we're going to hit here today. But hopefully at this point, it might feel funky, but it shouldn't feel unsupported. You should feel strong enough that this is going to feel okay, unless there are specific things you need to work on, which again, chat with your doctor or PT about that. So coming down to the mat, feet will go long, back behind you. The ball is coming out in front of you. So your hands should be able to stack on top of your ball here. Your gaze is down towards your mat. I want you to, before you do anything, squeeze your glutes and tuck your pelvis into the mat. So you're really pressing your pubic bone down into your mat. Your glutes are squeezing, 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 tight as they can. That's going to protect your lower back here. When you're ready, you're resting your hands on your ball. On your inhale, pull the shoulders back and down. Start to use your mid-back muscles, so right where your sports bra is, to lift up. Maybe pressing into the ball a tiny bit, coming up as high as is comfortable, and then lower it down on your exhale. Keep squeezing the glutes the entire time. Lift. If you're feeling any pinching in your lower back, I need you to not come up as high as you're coming up and to tuck your pelvis, squeeze glutes even more, because that is going to help them kind of take the pinching out of your back. But try not to come up as much if that's what you're feeling. Go for last 2. Last one here. Lower down, release the legs, placing your ball off to the side. Go ahead, send the hips back. We'll find our child's pose to start to slow things down. Knees wide, fingertips reach long, release your back. Hopefully that felt okay. If it did not feel okay, you can go back to the posture muscles. If it just felt a little unsupported, just continue working through the program. That might just be a strength thing. If it felt painful or odd or just like something was off in your body, chat with your doctor or PT. But if it felt good, hopefully it felt good. It feels like a nice little release for your body that hasn't done that motion in so long. Right hand on top of left hand. I'm just working through this. Didn't even tell you to do. Right hand on top of left hand. Sit your hips heavy and stretch. And then we'll work over to the other side. I'm just like doing this, talking to you like you're here. Really breathing into the side body. And then we'll come up onto all fours before bringing right foot out in front, finding a little bit of a low lunge here. So releasing the hips, maybe opening up this front hip, whatever feels nice for you there. And then sending it back for a little bit of a hamstring stretch, sitting on this back heel. Coming all the way up, we'll bring right foot back, left foot in front, low lunge. Working on opening and releasing through the hips here, moving it around in a way that feels good for you. And then you'll send it back to kind of sit on this back heel, hamstring stretch. And coming all the way up into a seated position, finding our butterfly pose to finish it out, soles of the feet together, pressing into our knees, grabbing the ankles, upper body becomes heavy, releasing a lot of those outer glutes. We did a lot of work there today. And when you're ready, coming all the way up, you're welcome to stay in any of those stretches for as long as you would like, or do any additional stretches. If you have any questions, let me know, drop them in the comments. And if not, I will see you in week 14.